All right, guys, I'm back again. My name is Jason Kelly, and I am the co-owner of JK Strength and Fitness Training. We specialize in strength training, but also in fat loss, body control, nutrition, and other things. And per my last video, I'm going to be breaking down a number of products, particularly products that I use myself from Bucked Up. And I'm going to start off with the pre-workout group. They have a lot of different styles of pre-workouts. Today, these are the 5 main pre-workouts that I use, and I do use 5 different, not all at one time. I never use more than one at a time, but at different times for different reasons, and they all have a little bit different properties, and I'll explain that as we go along. I'm going to focus on just Bucked Up, the original today, but as you can see in front of me, I've got Mother Bucker, BAMF, LFG Burn, Woke AF, and the original Bucked Up, and that's the one I'm going to talk about today. So this is what the product looks like. It's just Bucked Up on the front. This is kind of the flagship of Bucked Up. This is one of the things they started with. It's the first pre-workout they put out, and for really all practical purposes, this one will work for most anybody, just depending on what you want to get out of your workout and what you're looking for from stimulant and other things. What I will tell you is it's no different than any of the other Bucked Up products. There's no proprietary blends. Everything that you see on the label is what's in it. There's nothing in it that's not on the label. It's good for pump. It's good for focus. It's good for energy. It doesn't have a high stimulant. It's only 200 milligrams of caffeine. And so that's another thing. A lot of people can't handle the high stimulants. And so this one doesn't have a high stimulant. It does give you a little bit of that tingle feeling because there is beta alanine in it. But the caffeine load is actually fairly low. It's not much different than a can of pop or a cup of coffee or something like that. It does give you some pickup, but it's not going to be as high as say some of the others that are in front of me that have a higher caffeine load on the front end. So I use this one particularly on days when I'm already up, I'm awake, I'm around. It's not what I usually go to for my 5 a.m. workout, but for my afternoon workouts, a lot of times if I go in later in the day and my body's already woke up and I don't need a high stimulant to get me going, then this is the one I typically use. And oftentimes I'll mix it with a pump or something else, but I'll get more into that as I talk about some of these other things as we go on. So really today, that's really all I wanted to cover. Bucked Up Original. It's good for almost anything you want to do. It gives you a good pump. It has plenty of caffeine for most people unless you just really need that high stimulant. And it's a solid product that they put out. They've been putting it out the longest. It's lasted through the course of time. I highly recommend it for someone who is starting out, who has never taken pre-workout. It's not that hard on you. I still would recommend that you take only a half a scoop at a time for about the first 4 or 5 times until you kind of get used to it. Any stimulant or pre-workout that you take, I'm going to recommend that you start out with a half dose. And the reason I say that is because you just don't know how your body's going to react all the time. And it's not something that's going to necessarily harm you, but I still recommend taking a half dose to start off with. So that's where I'm at on this one. I'll get more detail. I'll actually show you some of the end results of this and show you what it does for me as we go forward. But today, Bucked Up, it's a great product. If you need a good pre-workout, this is a great one to start with, and then you can kind of decide from there what your body needs and what your body wants when you move forward and then look on to the others. And I'll break the other 4 of these down over the next week or so and let you know the differences in them, what I use them for. But again, this one's my just normal pre-workout, mid to late day workouts when my body's already woke up. Does a great job, not too high on the stimulant side, so that's good too. Does a great job. So there'll be more to come. Thank you.